This 18-year-old old princess has been spoiled her whole life. Whenever she asks for something, no one dares to say no. But when it comes to her asking others to do something, everyone jumps. All she cares about is money and luxury brands. She refuses to walk anywhere. She needs a helicopter. And when it comes to her family, she treats them with total coldness. So, her parents finally reached out to a TV show for help, hoping they could send her to a normal family for some re-education. Now, let's see. Can this spoiled princess really be re-educated?
Я взрослый человек, и я считаю, что мне невозможно перевоспитать.
Her name is Alina, just turned 18. Let's call her little AI for short. She's currently studying at the Russian University of Economics. Annual tuition, 500,000 rubles. Ever since she was a kid, everything had to go exactly her way. No one could ever go against her will.
Если что-то идет вопреки моему желанию, у меня просто внутри происходит взрыв.
Her father, 52, used to be a sailor. After retirement, he went into the telecom business. Her mother's a musician, who spent most of her time raising their 2 kids. Ever since little AI was small, even her mother had to wear whatever she approved of. If her mom didn't, she'd get upset. As for how much money the family actually makes, the parents refused to say. But they once bought her 2 apartments. And because neither had a clear view of Red Square, she accused them of being cheap. Her wardrobe is filled with designer bags. And the moment one goes out of style, she refuses to touch it again. Whenever she calls her dad, it's never for a good reason.
Пап, привет, как у тебя дела? Знаешь, что мне надо? Папа успевает только дыхание набрать для того, чтобы...
When it comes to shoes, she's completely insane. She buys so many that she can wear a different pair every single day. And honestly, that reminds me of something. Even poor girls sometimes catch this rich girl disease. They'll dream of buying a sofa, but the one they want...
В прошлом месяце ты сколько потратила? 800. Что купила?
Но мне еще диван надо купить.
Да, Аля, ну как диван, ну не 600 же тысяч диван будет стоить.
Просто такие цены.
That's just the price. I don't compare. I buy by order of price. I don't choose what's right. I choose what's expensive. Her father decided to take her to a furniture market himself. Maybe to teach her a little reality. But instead of thanking him, she said, "You don't need to come. I'll fly there myself by helicopter."
Мне мое время очень дорого, и я не хочу тратить свое время просто так. То есть я не люблю прогулки.
At this point, her parents realized things couldn't go on like this. So they invited her to dinner, hoping to have a serious talk. But just 5 minutes after sitting down, little AI said her friends were waiting for her and left right away. To be honest, poor kids can act like this too. If they're not spoiling their dog at a salon, they're just out partying. Half the time, they're not even doing anything important. Some viewers of the previous episode said, "This has to be fake. No one can really be like that." But come on, how could it be fake? In truth, a lot of kids from regular families have similar problems. They love to spend money. They avoid spending time with their parents, but can hang out with friends for 3 straight days. The difference? Poor kids have to work for their money, so their parents can't really be too harsh. Rich kids, on the other hand, spend freely and still don't know how to be grateful. Their parents just want love.
Что бы я хотел? Переформатирование.
After much persuasion from her father, little AI finally agreed to participate in the show, to live with a normal family and experience their life. But in her mind, this was just a chance to see how ordinary people live. Oh, and of course, she insisted on bringing her dog along for the ride. The host family she was sent to live with. The dad, Mark, is a retired military officer. The mom, Olga, is a lawyer. They have 3 kids, and their monthly income doesn't exceed 60,000 rubles. Their oldest daughter, Anastasia, let's call her Shishi, is also 18, and super responsible. Her parents are honestly surprised by her maturity. Then there's a 10-year-old son who loves boxing. He's tiny, but already has a ton of medals. And the youngest, just 6 years old, is the little runt of the family. So little AI arrived with her dog in tow.
Привет! Проходи. Нам гости.
С собакой.
С собакой?
Unlike other kids on the show, she actually smiled when she walked in. No arrogance. No I'm better than everyone vibe. At least, for an 18-year-old, she had a bit of manners. They showed her around the house, but she couldn't help but notice things she didn't understand.
21 век. Свою энергию на мытье посуды, но они предпочитают портить свой маникюр.
And as she came out of the kitchen, her dog had already marked its territory on the carpet. The mom was already a little annoyed. The house was poor, but clean. And even little AI could see that.
Я поняла, что некоторым членам семьи не понравилось присутствие моей собаки, но какая мне разница, я вправе поступать так, как я захотела.
The dog situation would have to be handled later. For now, they had to set up a place for her to stay. Shishi even gave her a towel for the dog to use as a makeshift diaper. Little AI didn't thank her. In fact, she told Shishi not to teach her anything.
У меня будут свои правила, а вы, пожалуйста, под них подстраивайтесь.
Honestly, she probably didn't even realize she was in someone else's house. She even brought her own stuff from home.
Мы идем тебе на уступки, но мы не можем поклониться тебе в ножки, и все, чтобы все было так, как ты хочешь.
They thought maybe after a meal she'd be easier to talk to. But she's picky about food too. She doesn't eat meat, only salad. Finally, there was a topic she could comment on. Home renovation. But instead of contributing, she only bragged. Meanwhile, the little 6-year-old wanted to take her dog outside. Little AI agreed, and a new problem popped up. Eventually, the little one's relatives showed up, and they called the family in.
Чё она такая грязная?
А ты зачем мне
Зачем ее в лужу поставила?
Я не ставила, я его...
Ну она...
Now the question, who's going to wash this dog? Little AI usually just takes her dog to a salon. She never does it herself.
Собака дорогая, не дай бог еще заболеет.
In the end, the mom had to wash it herself.
Стоит ее помыть?
Ну от 5 стрижка стоит, помыть тоже там 1002.
Тебе, то есть это мы сейчас тебе на 5000 тут собаку намыли.
Грудки грязно тоже.
Even cleaning the belly! You've got to admit this family's pretty nice. But the mom and Shishi realized they were starting to get used to little AI. Instead of changing her, they almost forgot their own roles.
Кстати, не забудь, пожалуйста, когда заходишь, стучаться. Как напоминаю, вот с утра меня не будить.
The whole day, the family felt like they were serving her. And get this, Shishi even gave her the bed, sleeping on the couch herself. This family really coddled her. Previous participants on the show always slept on the couch. The next morning, the mom had to get up early to prepare food for little AI's dog. She even bought special stuff for it. And of course, the dog was picky, didn't even eat. Guess what they say is true? The dog really reflects its owner. Eventually, Shishi decided it was time to wake her up.
Зачем вы меня будете?
Потому что пора вставать.
Я так не считаю, я еще буду спать.
Мам!
Even then, the mom had to come a second time because by now, it was already noon. They wanted little AI to go for a walk. She was the oldest kid in the re-education program. And honestly, the worst one, in the end, she had no choice but to go out with the mom.
Что у меня собака долго не гуляла, вот, поэтому я вышла только для того, чтобы прогулять.
Knowing she hates walking, the mom even brought a walking stick. She tried to get her to walk about 10 meters, like skiing. But guess what? She got tired before the dog did. So they had to bundle the dog up and take turns carrying it. And after just a few steps, she refused to keep walking and went straight back home with the dog.
Ходите, потом, не знаю, встретимся.
Afraid she'd just go home, the family decided to take her on a picnic. Finally, maybe some fun. Everyone was working, but little AI didn't want to do anything. She'd never lifted a finger. In the end, the mom had to drag her into helping.
Нельзя никого попросить, какого-нибудь человека денег ему дать, пусть...
Нет, ну это, конечно, хороший подход к жизни, вот дать ему денег. А представь себе, что ну нету такого человека.
When she finally got to taste fresh ingredients, she realized why it's worth spending time on these things. Some tasks take effort, but the results are sweet. Next up, they went to a home improvement store to pick out new flooring. Of course, little AI had an opinion. The most expensive stuff is always the best, right? But the mom explained, quality doesn't always mean expensive. Sometimes you're just paying for the brand and their marketing. Little AI still suggested they go for the pricier option.
Но если это дорого, давайте, не знаю, может, я вам оплачу.
Деньги есть.
The dad couldn't accept her offer, but he thanked her politely anyway. In the end, little AI helped them choose a cheaper option. Honestly, if they had accepted her money, it would have been impossible to educate her. She'd be hand-soft, mouth short forever. Next, Shishi and her friends wanted little AI to experience some local entertainment. They took her to a theater. The theater didn't allow the crew to film, so all little AI got was a short video clip, like her own little vlog. Still, the performance left a strong impression on her. Even Shishi could feel that she wasn't as bad as she seemed at first. By the third day, Shishi's parents had to go deliver goods, so the family had to handle meals themselves. Normally, Shishi would cook, but today, she refused. So little AI had to make breakfast herself.
Не ешь, а сосиски ешь?
No porridge, just a few sausages. But for her, it was already a big step. Later, they took her out to help clean up trash in the neighborhood. Little AI didn't understand. Why bother if you're not getting paid?
Мы часто здесь гуляем, а по грязи и по мусорке гулять не особо хочется.
The mom explained. Her idea was different. By taking kids out to pick up trash, their children would grow up not littering, and honestly, it made sense. Little AI seemed to get the philosophy and started helping voluntarily. During the day, how does a normal family fill their time? When the season comes, they make homemade food, like pickles, and everyone does it together. Anyone who's lived in a big family knows that vibe. In that kind of harmony, little AI's actions started to feel natural.
Я так за тебя рада, что аж плачу, если честно. Плакать. Я сейчас тоже буду плакать.
Even though it was mostly the mom teaching her, that one jar of homemade food, little AI actually made it herself. New Year was coming soon, so they put on festive outfits and celebrated together. The day was full of joy, and everyone had a great time. On the last day of her re-education, Mark prepared a surprise for little AI. Everyone thought it'd be a leather bag for her, but it turned out to be a leather cover for her dog.
Спасибо большое. Все самое модное будешь на районе.
That meal was their last one together. After eating, little AI said her goodbyes and genuinely thanked the family. She finally realized re-education isn't just about lectures or scolding. It's about learning through real-life experiences, through living and feeling. A lot of people might think this is like the Russian version of the transformations, but it's different. In that show, the kids are usually arrogant, even a little manic. Here, it's about rich kids who don't know normal life, who are distant from their families, who are spoiled and reckless with money. The idea is to teach them through targeted experiences, through small details and care.
Как я ценю все, что вы мне даете. Ну, мне бы хотелось, чтобы у нас было так же, это сплоченность. Деньги помогают как-то более комфортно жить, но...
Ты наша солнце.
Алька, не растеряй, пока едешь домой, все, что ты там увидела.
And that's it for this episode. See you next time. And don't forget to like and subscribe.